to the Business and Bubbly podcast. This is the place for women in business who are on the journey of building their big ideas and want to have fun along the way. It's for those of us who also know we aren't meant to do business or life alone. Hi, I'm Charity Majors, your host and the founder of Business and Bubbly. Think of this kind of like the can I pick your brain chats that you've always wanted to have with those who are doing epic things, plus business besties, hype girls, and getting into massive action towards your next big idea, all in the same place. Oh, and bubbles, because if you're not having fun along the way, you're not doing it right. Together, we'll unlock what it means to be seen, known, heard, and championed all along the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and being a woman in business building big dreams. Each week, I'll bring you a quick sip business tip, as well as interviews from top experts that make you feel like you're getting bottle service for your business. We're having the raw and real conversations and chatting about all the things, the messy middle, the pivots, scaling, the good days and the bad days, because here we do real. It's where we can work hard, play hard, cry it out, and dance it out all at the same time without being judged. This is a place where we are in the arena together and we are each other's biggest fans because most of us have enough comments from the cheap seats. It's where our too much is par for the course and where the gaps of our not enough are filled in by the other epic women that are around us. It's where we can be unapologetic about the mission we are on, about the big dreams on our heart, and the business we are building without having to be perfect or have it all together, or even pretend to. It's a supportive community where business is being done amongst like-minded women, because when money gets in the hands of good women, great things happen. It's a place where you have the support around you to get out of your comfort zone and go after your big ideas, because even when you fail forward or when you reach the top, you know it won't be alone. Also, if you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm obsessed with creating platforms that lift up other women to be seen and heard and known. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite you to list your business on our directory called Find Women in Business. All you've got to do is text the word directory to 833-231-8098, and I'll text you the link back to get your free listing. This is also a great way to connect with other women in business from around the world, so definitely check it out. And now let's get to the good stuff. Grab a glass of your favorite beverage, Prosecco, bubbly water, or whatever your flavor is, and let's dive in. Are you with me? Here we go. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Charity Majors, and I have a special guest for you today. Our guest today is Kri Gentile, and you are going to love this woman. Kri and I actually had the opportunity of meeting, maybe a little over a year ago at the time that I'm recording this, at a really awesome mastermind with another really awesome coach, and we just had a blast and connected, and she is definitely my people. So you guys, as my audience, as my people, you are going to love her too. So Kri is actually an international creative director, designer, and consultant, and she helps business owners, agencies, coaches, and consultants that either have no brand or a poorly designed brand to elevate their business's credibility, authority, and value. Kri has crafted content from some of the globe's most recognized companies, including Captain Morgan, Pantene Pro V, and Walgreens, to name a few. And her agency, Creative, produces show-stopping, high-converting brand identities, websites, sales funnels, and social media feeds. Her clients go on to stand out and become the most attractive choices within their industry. And Kri's work has been featured across billboards in Times Square. She regularly contributes to industry-leading publications like Funnel Magazine and ClickFunnels CEO Russell Brunson. And he has actually utilized her for one of his books. She's one of the world's top 5 funnel designers, and she has actually just started a brand new branch of her her agency that actually, it's called the branding agency method, that helps other people create their own branding agencies quickly, easily, so that they can help other entrepreneurs as well. In this episode, we talk about how brands come to life. We talk about personality of brands and what it looks like to be able to craft and create the voice of your brand, so that your ideal clients are easily attracted to you, to your brand, to your messaging, to your social media, to your websites, to your funnels. And she really helps you kind of understand the importance of bringing that personality to life. She talks about kind of her three main things that she does in her business, where they help develop a brand identity, chatting about websites that convert, as well as visuals that speak to vision, values, and quality. We talk about a little bit about Kri's background story, about how she was playing small in corporate and decided to dive into the entrepreneurial space and really come into alignment to create intimate impact with other entrepreneurs as well. She's been able to create a supportive network that believes in her, and just the importance of doing that so that you can dive into the entrepreneurial journey as well. So I hope you guys love this episode. Make sure you take notes. You're also going to want to tune in on how you can dive into or follow Kri on her Instagram when it comes to her fun the stories that she does when it comes to branding. You're going to love it. So make sure you dive into this episode, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to have you here today along with our special guest, Kri. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to get to chat with you today.
Thank you so much for having me, Charity. I'm so honored, and I'm excited to speak to your audience today too. I can't wait.
I love it. Well, so Kri, they obviously got to hear all of your amazing things that you have done, that you're up to, as well as how you and I got connected through some really fun coaching and mastermind type things. But I think our audience would really resonate with some of your story and kind of how you got started in your journey towards being a creative, being in design, and really helping coaches and consultants and entrepreneurs just really elevate their brand. So would you mind sharing a little bit about your backstory?
Yeah, of course. So I have always been a creative person. I never knew what I was going to do with my creativity until I reached about college. And that's when I had to take my first drawing class. I realized I was really great at drawing. That led to design, and then that led to web design, and that led to photography. And I graduated from college with my BFA in it's called visual communications in design. And so we were trained in art direction, essentially, how to bring visuals to life and in a way that they communicate through design, through balance and composition. And so after getting my BFA in college, I went to work in corporate America. And that's when I worked my way up the corporate ladder. I started as a junior art director, worked my way up from art director to senior art director to junior creative director, and then to creative director. And that's when I decided I am in love with what I do. I was working with globally recognized brands like Captain Morgan, Absolute Vodka, Excedrin, Migraine. Gosh, so many wonderful, amazing brands. I've had my work displayed in things like billboards in Times Square. I was able to work on really amazing big budget projects and really got to understand the logistics and how to make big brands come to life, like how to really take a concept and bring it to life in the big screens and across the world. And I loved what I was doing so much, and I loved all my clients. But there was always this part of working in corporate America that I felt small. Like I felt like I was playing small. I felt like I had so much more to give to the world. I felt like I can impact so many people on more of an intimate level by working with them one-on-one, as opposed to kind of being another number in this big corporate agency with, people who didn't even really know your name. And so that's when I decided that I wanted to branch off, start my own creative agency. And so that's when I opened up the Creative Co. and started to, I got hit with the reality of what it takes to become an entrepreneur. It's been an amazing journey. I've, as any entrepreneur has had their ups and their downs, but it's been such an amazing journey. It's been such rewarding. And so I've been doing that for now. The Creative Co has been open for about 5 years now, and we help entrepreneurs who are around the world to build their own brands. And so basically what I do now is I take small businesses and entrepreneurs, business owners that want to look like, that want to look and feel and act like these big brands, but they just don't know how to do it because they are small business owners. And so I bring all the big, real world, big brand experience to them and turn them into the most attractive choice within their industry now.
I love that. That's so awesome. Now going back to kind of your journey when you were in like corporate America, which it sounds funny, but like obviously like having your stuff in Times Square and working with all these really great, like name brands, I find it interesting that you were like, I felt like I was playing small. Which a lot of people, they're probably like, oh my gosh, like I wish I had a huge client like that, like compared to, the person that pays me like $100. Like,
I guess I can totally see where you're coming from on that.
But I love actually what you said, where you wanted to shift in making more of an intimate impact, which is amazing, because I think that there's so many people out there who like they want to reach the top and they want to work with the biggest and the best and they want to do all the things and help all the people and all of that stuff. But I actually loved that your pivot included more intimacy and more equipping other coaches, leaders, entrepreneurs with their things to help get their message out into the world and to help them stand out. So I love that it was more of an intimate impact that is like, it's right. It's not right or wrong in either direction of whatever you do, but being able to follow your heart into knowing that that was what really helped you be in alignment. Gosh, I just love that. So how did you, like, what was it like maybe in your head where you're like, okay, I'm like in corporate right now and I'm going to jump into this entrepreneurial world. Like what went through your head? Where did you get the courage to do it? And what was that journey like?
Yeah. So as amazing as it was to work with big budgets and big audiences, and it was really, really fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love working with big brands. But there was a sense of working. This is like a personal sort of like sense that I had, that I just kind of felt like just another number in an agency. And I really wanted that intimacy. Like you said, I really wanted to not just be another number in another cubicle with a client who, a lot of my clients, the teams that I would work with, there would be like, 10 to 15 people on the team. And so there wasn't any real intimacy with one-on-one client interaction, or there wasn't a lot of creative flexibility to kind of do what you really, bring huge ideas to life, because there was a lot of, there's standards and there's guides and there's things you had to follow when it's big corporate, you have to follow their brand identity guides that are already set in stone. And so I got to a point where I really wanted to flex my creative muscle. I really wanted to build more intimate relationships with my clients. And I just felt like it was entrepreneurship was calling me, because it's always been something that had been calling me. I always knew I would own my own agency at some point. And I just kind of figured at that point, I thought it was the right time. And it was the right time to really switch over. And I ultimately wanted to help small business owners and entrepreneurs feel that same feeling of dealing, seeing their business go from nothing, no idea, zilch, zero, to becoming something that is globally recognized, to becoming something that has that impact, to becoming something that is so magical and inspiring and impactful. And I just loved being able to be that person that could help them get there. Because a lot of times you need the big budget, you need the big team, you need, a lot of times your only option is to hire a big creative agency. And so I always said to myself, I'm like, I want to create a creative agency where we could kind of become like your in-house creative team, almost as if you're working with corporate America. Mm-hmm. In corporate America, where you have your where you have your creative team. I really wanted that same sense and that same feel, but I wanted to bring it to the smaller entrepreneur, the business owner who didn't actually have the accessibility to that big, structured, we were working on multi-million-dollar deals. And so small business owners and entrepreneurs, obviously don't have that huge multi-million-dollar budget right up front a lot of the times. And so I wanted to be able to provide them with that same impact and that same quality and that same value that I was creating for the big brands, but I wanted to bring it to smaller businesses and entrepreneurs who needed that help and who actually, who I could build relationships with over time and really watch their businesses flourish, and just be a part of helping them do that. I always find that so rewarding to see like our end product at the end of the day, what we come up with and how I impact them and how I help them is just so rewarding.
Oh, I love that so much. And I think I definitely understand like what you're saying, where you're just like either another number, or just like another seat in the chair, or like you kind of have to jump through all the hoops and all the logistics and all of that stuff. I actually used to work at one of the major universities here where I live, and was hired to help them rebuild one of their departments. And it was actually their health and wellness department. And it was, I think, it was so frustrating having to go through like the step by step, and then this committee, and that like we had a dumbbell that broke. It was like a 10-pound dumbbell, and it took 9 months to replace. I was like,
exactly.
Oh my God, it's like $40. I will go get the dumbbell and replace it myself.
Exactly. There's all these structures and all these things in place. And as much as those are good, don't get me wrong, like they definitely like make the ball roll. However, they're sort of constricting at times too. And you can't be as flexible, and you can't have as much of an intimate relationship with people when you're kind of stuck to boundaries and guidelines and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. I love that. So when it comes to bringing brands to life, what would you say are maybe some of your favorite tips or hacks, or, if someone's listening to this and they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm a coach, or I'm a consultant, or I have a business, I have a brand, and gosh, like everyone is obviously moving online. Like, how do I stand out amongst all the noise? Like, how do I look professional? How do I play the part? What are some things that you would maybe advise them on?
Totally. So building a brand, this is something I tell all my clients. Building a brand is truly like building a personality. It's almost like having another human form that you're kind of constructing, and you're building their personality, and like, what are their characteristics? Are they funny? Are they shy? Are they intimate? Are they organic? Are they, what are all of their characteristics? And it's really about building this personality with characteristics and giving it a name. And so really giving it this tangible feel where people feel like they can connect with it almost as if they can connect with a human. And so in order to create that personality, in order to create that, tangible, that culture, that this sense that you can connect with something that's outside of yourself, there's a couple different ways to do that. And so what I take my clients through, for the most part, is what I call our trifecta. And so it's really 3 parts. The first is creating a brand identity that is super impactful, super powerful. A brand identity is something that people are going to relate to. So that means, what position are you taking in this world? What is the position that you're going to claim and that you're going to stake? Who are you speaking to? We will get really clear about who your target audience is and who you're speaking to, because if you don't know your destination and who you're speaking to, you're going to be speaking aimlessly and it's not going to convert well. So when you know exactly who you speak to, you can craft and create an environment, and you can create an experience that is going to be magnetic and attractive to that target audience. And so that getting clear about who you're speaking to is huge. Getting clear about the feel, how you want to resonate, how you want people to feel about you in general. So really crafting an attractive character, who is it that you want to be as a brand? What position, like I said, do you want to take in the market? How are you unique and different from your competition? And so once we get really clear about all those nitty gritty details, we take all of that information, and that's what we use to create a brand identity in the shape of a logo, in the shape of a color palette, in the shape of font selections. And so we really build out an identity, and your identity is what speaks for you. It's almost like that saying, a photo is worth 1,000 words. It's that same feeling. So your brand identity is speaking for you when you aren't in the room. It's speaking for you when you're not there. And so people need to be able to see your brand identity and just automatically resonate and, instantly know who you are, who you're speaking to, and what you're about, and what makes you unique right as they look at you. So once we get really clear about your brand identity and we develop that, then that actually propels the second aspect of our trifecta, which is our brand websites. So nowadays, as entrepreneurs are moving online, businesses are moving online. In order to really have an impact online, you need to have a home base, your website, that first and foremost converts. Conversions are the most important key, and so having a website that doesn't convert is honestly it's aimless. It's worthless. And so our biggest concern when we build websites for our clients is to make sure that they have lead magnets, that they have hierarchy, that they have direction that points to specific things, whether they're promoting a lead magnet, whether they're promoting their audience, offers. And it's just really about having a website that is streamlined and directs you exactly where you need to go in order to not become inundating. And, any type of confusion, any type of overwhelm is going to it's going to make someone exit your website, and the chances of them coming back to your website after that happens is so slim to none. I think there was a study done that said it was like 98% of visitors who visit your website will never return. And so you have to give them something to come back and return to. And so the way that you do that is really building an experience, making sure that it's streamlined, making sure that it's so simple, and then making sure that the design is really communicating to every, where it's drawing the viewer's eyes where they need to go at the appropriate time in order for them to convert. And so conversions are key there. And then, so that's the second part. And then, so once you have your brand identity developed and that gets, plastered on your website, and that helps us propel and build a website. Then the third aspect is really about having visuals that speak to your vision, your values, and your quality. So many people make the mistake of, going directly to generic stock photography. And the problem with generic stock photography is that it's generic. And so it doesn't incorporate your brand colors. It doesn't incorporate the scenes and the environments, and it doesn't speak to your authentic self. And so I'm a really, really, really big believer that your photography should be authentic. You should be captured behind the lens, your team, your products, your own environments. That way you are showing, you're showing up authentically, and there's, it's much easier to know, like, and feel like you can trust a brand that shows up authentically. And so the same thing with sales videos and all of the marketing content that you would, so from photography to sales videos, and then putting that on social media, all of that needs to be cohesive. It all needs to be consistent, and it all needs to be authentic in order for people to really grow that love and that trust for you. And so all three of those things combined, brand identity, website, visuals, and applying that to all of your marketing, that is what's going to, when you can do that consistently and cohesively, that's what's going to set you apart. And when you do it uniquely and, you do it authentically, there's such a difference. You can feel right away that, you can resonate with brands that are authentic, because you start to build this personal connection with them right away. And that is the most important, first and foremost, that's most important.
I love that. Just really creating something that is in alignment with you and giving it a personality. And
yes,
I love that so much. And I will definitely say, it's like to the listeners, when Kri and I, we were in the mastermind together, and her now husband, Matt, they were helping with one of my funnels. And I just remember sitting there, and you would like mention like, okay, like let's give this space to breathe and let's add a little bit more space here. And I was like, space, like, cause I had like crammed a few things together to try and like, like fit it into one screen so that everyone could read the one thing on the one page. And she was like, let's give it space to breathe and let's clean it up a little bit and like help on a funnel. It looked so much better when I was done. So definitely from personal experience, Kri is amazing. I love it so much. So you obviously so you've been so successful, not only just in your creative, which is so cute. I love that it puts it, that it like connects your name to it. Your creative brand, that you have been able, like you've been named like top 5 funnel designers, that you worked with Russell Brunson on his Traffic Secrets book. So why don't you chat a little bit about what it looks like to, go from feeling like you're playing small in corporate America to diving into the entrepreneurial space and, not necessarily knowing what it looks like to be an entrepreneur, which if you're an entrepreneur, it's ups and downs and it's backwards and all around and it's pivots and fails and all of that stuff, right?
Yes.
So what got you to this space of then being a top 5 designer within like one of the top, obviously, like funnels and digital marketing spaces, and working with one of the top digital marketing people in the entire world?
Yeah. Well, the Russell Brunson story is actually really interesting because it all happened by happenstance. It's actually funny. So one day Matt, my husband, Matt, and I, we were sitting together and we were scrolling through Facebook, and we came across an ad from Russell Brunson calling on all designers around the world to enter to draw into a contest. He wanted the best designers in the world to enter his design-a-thon. He was having an event. It was called the Design-a-thon, and he wanted the best designers in the world to go there and help him build funnels for his ClickFunnels marketplace. And at the time, I had ClickFunnels. I've ever even spilled the beans on this, but I had ClickFunnels for, I think, only a week's amount of time. I think I had just bought it like 7 days before. And I think I might have built one funnel ever. And so they wanted, obviously, examples of my work. And so I sent them examples of other websites. I sent them examples of my design work. And then I sent them that one funnel that I built. And instantly, within 24 hours, I heard back from Stephen Larson at the time, and he wanted me to go there. And it happened so randomly. We had seen that ad, and I was like, Matt, if I apply to this, I'm going to get it and it's going to be interesting. Like, I don't know. I've never really built funnels. I'm really scared. Maybe this isn't the right time. And he's like, come on, Kri, like this is meant for you. What are you talking about? I'm like, no, let's think about this. So I walked away. I went and did something else. And actually, I didn't know this, but Matt actually applied me. He filled out my application. He sent all my stuff out and I had no idea it was happening. And then like 24 hours after just seeing that ad and kind of talking with Matt about this, that's when Steven reached out and said that they wanted me to fly out. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. So I actually ended up going out there. That's where I met so many wonderful, amazing entrepreneurs who were all designers, so many talented designers, friends who I'm still friends with most of them to this day. And it's been so amazing. That's what started my journey with ClickFunnels. So actually at the event, that's when Russell taught me everything I needed to know about building funnels, all the strategy, all the design strategy. Like we went through A to Z. Like it was so intense. I don't think we slept one bit in like 3 to 4 days. And that he just, I mean, I learned from the very best in marketing, the very best in funnel designs. And then since then we kept up and he continued to train us throughout. I continued to do work for him throughout. And still to this day, I work with the ClickFunnels team and it's amazing. It's, so back to your question of, how does it feel to kind of pivot from the big world and then kind of start this entrepreneurial journey and go through the ups and downs. It really is just a roller coaster. It's like, when you sign up for entrepreneurship, you really don't know what the ups and downs are going to be. And you just take opportunities. You just take opportunities as they come, just like when we saw that ad and I was hesitant, that's me being, trying to be safe and secure. And it took my husband to go and set up the application for me to just take the leap of faith. And then that's when, and then I started to build confidence slowly. It's like, okay, well, if Russell thinks I can do it, then this person thinks I can do it. And this person thinks I can do it. And it just spiraled from there. And I knew that I had my design backing. I felt so confident in all of my design training, my design backing and my strategy backing it and just from all of my experience. And so it's really just building upon your experience, having confidence, and just taking it day by day. I mean, you can't plan for anything in entrepreneurship, but you can learn to ride the waves. It's like that saying, if you don't, what is that saying? I'm so bad at sayings and I really shouldn't bring it up, but it's like, you can learn how to surf. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf them. And that's kind of what happens. Entrepreneurship comes in waves, there's ups and downs, and you just got to learn how to surf them.
I love that so much. And I love that Matt was the one that filled out the application for you. If you guys don't know Matt and Kri, they're awesome. They're so cute together. Like, I just love them. I just love you guys so much.
Thank you.
And how amazing to have like not only such a supportive partner, but obviously you guys work together as well and you're also able to really build such a great supportive community of, okay, if this person thinks I can do it and if this person thinks I can do it, and it just helps build your belief and confidence. That's so good. So as you've built your belief, your confidence, you built this incredible agency. Well, since you've had success in your agency, I know that people were asking how do you do it? And you actually have started this really fun new thing that you're doing. If you want to chat a little bit about how you're teaching other people how to be able to create their own successful branding agency.
Yes. So over the last couple of years of I have done it all. I've done all the learning, I've done coaching, and, as you grow and you gain all these experiences, you start to learn what works, what doesn't work. And being able to build this agency that has become so successful has been so rewarding. I'm so in love with my business and everything that it's brought to me that I wanted to be able to help graphic designers. I wanted to be able to help branding experts and web designers now to be able to learn the skills that I've acquired in order to do it themselves, because it's been so, like I said, so rewarding and so amazing for me that I now want to share that with brand and web designers so that they can feel the same way. And so I've created what's called the Branding Agency Method. It's a mentorship program. It's an 8-week program where I go through all the nuts and bolts. I hold your hand every step of the way through, and I walk you through exactly what my process is, what we do in our agency, how we handle client work, how we handle every single aspect, how we handle marketing and web design and branding and how we handle it all. And we basically package it all up and hand it over to our brand and web designers so that they don't have to wait 5 to 8 years like it took me to figure out on my own, and they don't have to do it on their own. They know that they can have someone that's going to support them and answer their questions and hold their hands along the way. So it's been really amazing, so exciting to help entrepreneurs be able to do this. And so many amazing, wonderful things coming out of Creative Co. This year. Branding Agency Method mentorship program is one of them that I'm super excited about. We're also revamping our website. And that is we're launching that any day now. So I'm so excited about that, and tons of other things that we're adding to our brand shop, like our brand kits that are for entrepreneurs who need a quick, affordable solution for getting branded. We were adding some new brand kit solutions there. And then of course, we're always taking on new clients for custom branding work. And it's just so much fun to get into trifectas with clients and be able to see them go from nothing to amazing, impactful, powerful brands in just 6 to 8 weeks. So a lot of fun things coming out of Creative Co this year.
Oh, that is so amazing. And I'm so excited for you and just love everything that you're doing and how in alignment that you are living, not only with things that light you up, but that light other people up as well. And, I can imagine it would probably feel something like, you see like you have this baby that you help grow it up, and then all of a sudden their brand explodes and you're like, yay, like I'm so proud of you.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels with every client. And it's just so fun. It's so much fun because everyone comes from different corners of the world, different industries. And it's just so much fun to see it. Like it really is like growing a baby. Like you start and you see their personality hatch and like start to bloom, and then you can kind of craft it along the way, which is even cooler because this is sort of like when you have a baby, like I guess they do pick up on, natural things around them, but sometimes they are who they are. But with brands, you can kind of craft the way that they go, and you can mold and shape them in any direction. You can pivot. And so you get to see what's working, what's not working. And then by the end of it, I always say branding is an evolution. Mm-hmm. It's not something that's, slapped together and it's just, hey, it's done and out in a couple days. No, branding is an evolution, and it starts somewhere and just like a baby, and then it grows and becomes something completely different in 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So it's always so rewarding and so much fun to be able to help entrepreneurs throughout the journey. Yeah. Super cool.
I love it so much. Well, Kri, thank you so much for sharing not only your story, but the awesome tips just about how to develop a brand identity, talking about a website that converts, talking about visuals that speak about your visions, values, qualities, speaking directly to your ideal clients, the personality of a brand. Oh my gosh, you guys go back to this episode, bookmark this episode, share this out to any other coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs that you know. And Kri, I know that people are going to want to definitely reach out and connect with you further. So how can people find you, follow you, check out what you have going on your new website, on your on the new evolution of your brand, which is so fun to see? How can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me at creative.co, and it's spelled a little funky. So it's KRIATIV.co. So that's our website, home base. And then you can find me on social media at Kri Gentile on every platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I'm there on all of them. And it's just Kri Gentile, KRIGENTILE.
I love it. And you guys make sure that you go check her out. She's got some really fun, even just on her Instagram, like on her Insta stories, like really fun brand stories. And like her and Matt go into the grocery store.
Brand games.
Yeah, like the brand games, like which one do you like best? And then I like it's so fun. And she gets votes from everyone. And it's just really fun to even see in real time, like with real life products, like in the grocery store, who likes what and why they're drawn to it. And she picks it apart and shares about like why it won. And so definitely check it out. She is a wealth of knowledge, even just on her Insta stories.
Thanks. I know we have so much fun with those. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram. We have a good time.
For sure. All right, Kri. Well, thank you so much for sharing. It's always so great to connect with you. And you guys make sure to find her, follow her, check out her website. You're going to love her as much as I do.
Charity, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. I hope it brought some value and some fun into your business and life. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and even share the episode with a fellow business bestie who you know will love it. It helps us continue to attract top-level guests and reach more and more women who are on their journey in business just like you. Remember that when money gets in the hands of good women, great things happen. Cheers to your success.